She said to him in his ear, "Don't you ever touch my granddaughter or any other woman again." She took a broom and she beat the man with the broom, beat him in his head and knocked it like it was a baseball.
Hello there, I'm Cerise Fairfax, and this is Storytime. Welcome to my channel. Get ready for some unpredictable stories. If this is your type of video, then please go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button and the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Cerise, and this is my channel, and this is Storytime Saturdays. And this is a crazy story. Have you ever heard of that saying, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? Well, now you have if you haven't. It's an old Bible saying, and it means that I'm going to get you. It doesn't mean that, you smack me and I'm going to turn the other cheek. In the New Testament, that's what they say. In the Old Testament, it was an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That means you take my eye, I'm taking yours. You take my tooth, I'm taking yours. In the New Testament, when Jesus came into the picture, he said, "Oh, if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek." That means don't make a mountain out of a molehill. If it's not that bad, just keep it moving. Well, this story was pretty bad. So, this is your warning if you get a sick belly or if you do not like gory stories. All right, let's get down to basics. We have two main characters, and their names are Carolyn and Joe. So, Carolyn, she was originally from the Dominican Republic. I live here in the Dominican Republic, and I live in a province called Puerto Plata in a little town called Sosúa. Well, it's more of a municipal. And I live in a neighborhood called Los Chitomicos. Well, this young lady she was raised very close to Los Chitomicos in a small little area called Los Costillos. So let's get into the story now. So now Carolyn, she was given a visa by her grandmother. Her grandmother moved to America many years ago. And when she got to America, she always promised Carolyn that she was going to send for her. And she said, "Carolyn, now is the time. Come on over." Now, Carolyn's grandmother, she was a cleaner, and she used to clean huge apartment buildings. And she always, she had this contract where she was always getting her friends jobs cleaning, and it was the night shift. And so Carolyn, she was like, "Carolyn, come on over. I have a job for you. You can come over on a work permit. And I think you're really going to enjoy this job. It's in an office building, and it will inspire you to do your studies and become the businesswoman that you want to be." So Carolyn was like, "Oh my gosh, this has got to be a dream job," because here in Puerto Plata area, she was working, she was cleaning houses, and she was just feeling like she was going into these villas and she was looking at the way that people live, and she didn't know how she was ever going to make any more money to make ends meet in order to go to school and then create a wonderful life for herself in the future. So she looked at this as a great opportunity. And she was like, "Absolutely, thank you, abuela." Abuela means Spanish, it means grandmother. She was like, "Thank you, abuela." Abuela means grandmother in Spanish. And she went and she flew to America, and she got there on a Friday and she started work on the Monday. Now, it sounds all exciting, right? Imagine your dreams have come true. But her dreams were tarnished with nightmares. She arrived the first day of work on Monday. Her grandmother dropped her off in the building, and her grandmother said, "You just do your work. Don't ask any questions. Don't talk to anyone. Just be quiet. You know how to clean, and just do that." So she did. Now, after the first week, she felt amazing. She felt like this has got to be the easiest thing. She put her headphones on, she cleaned the office building. She got 2 floors to clean, and all on her own, and she would just have all the supplies right there, nobody bothering her, no boss to tell her what she needs to do, no woman that owns a villa telling her don't do this, do that. Nobody was in her way. All she had to do was get off the elevator, clean all the offices on the 1 floor, go up to the 2nd floor, and clean all the offices on the other floor. And after a week, she had her routine down pat, and she was loving it. So then, after the week, she showed up, and the elevator opened, and there was a man there. And he looked at her, and he's like, "Oh, you must be Carolyn." And she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Do you speak good English?" And she said, "A little bit." And he's like, "Okay, oh, you all say a little bit. Just, I need you to come over here and clean this office first." And she's like, "Okay." No questions asked. She didn't do a lot of talking. She went into the office, and he sat in the chair and he watched her clean. She didn't ask him who he was. She just automatically assumed that he was the owner of that office. And that was it. And then the next day, he did it again. And then he did it again. 3 days straight. He told her, clean that office first. The same office for 3 days straight. She didn't think anything strange about it at all. But as she was cleaning it, he was watching her. So then the 4th day, she asked her grandmother before she went into work. And she said, "Who is the guy that is always asking me to clean the one office first?" And the grandmother said, "I don't know who you're talking about. I worked in that office building for years and never met this man that you're talking about." And she said, "Well," and she told her grandmother what the guy looked like. And the grandmother's like, "I don't know who you're talking about. I know every single person that works there." And so the grandmother said, "I'm going to come with you tonight and you're going to show me who it is." They showed up, and she saw the man as soon as the elevator door opened. And the grandmother looked at the man and said, "Who are you?" And the man said, "I'm the night watchman. I was told to watch all the girls to make sure that they're cleaning well. And I made sure that, I chose the new girl, Carolyn, to make sure that she's cleaning well because there were few complaints that she wasn't cleaning well last week." And the grandmother was like, "Okay." The grandmother knew that, people complain for no reason, sometimes on the new people. But she's like, "Okay, okay." And she just let it be. And she's like, "I'm going to help my granddaughter clean tonight." And the watchman said, "No, no, 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 no. You can't. She's new. We need to know that she's a good worker. She doesn't need help. This is her job." And the grandmother said, "Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Um, that's fine. But, I just wanted to make sure that she's doing the job right. And I want to show her that she's doing the job right, what she needs to do." And the guy said, "She's doing a good job now. I've been watching her for the last 3 days. I'm going to watch her tonight and for the next couple of days. And Friday, I'm going to let her know exactly what's going on, if she's been doing good or not." So the grandmother said, "Okay, okay, that's wonderful. Thank you." And he said, "No problem. You need to go now." And the grandmother left. So now Carolyn, she's thinking, "Oh my gosh, she's being examined. She didn't realize she wasn't cleaning properly." So the man said to her, "Listen, I need you to get down on your hands and knees and clean everywhere. You're not cleaning every single corner of the carpet." And she's like, "I am." And he's like, "Don't talk back to me." And she's like, "I'm not talking back to you, but this is clean. If you can find someone that can clean it better, get them to come show me because I know what clean looks like. I've cleaned all my life." And he said, "Okay, come over here. You want to clean? You want to show me what clean is all about?" And he said to her, "Come clean my..." Yes, he did. And he grabbed her by her hair, pulled her there, and made her do something that she had never done before. Now, the Dominican Republic is a beautiful Christian island. And of course, we do have people here that are not so Christian, but we do have women here that are very Christian and very innocent and very honest. They just want to make a good living, and they don't need to travel to America to be taken advantage of. So when he did that to her, she was embarrassed. She felt like she was being punished for not cleaning very good, and she just cried and cried, and she continued to clean for that night. And when she got home, she said to her grandmother, you know, the next day, she's like, I can't go to work Friday. I can't go to work tomorrow. I'm not feeling well. And the grandmother said, okay, don't worry. I'll go clean for you. The grandmother went and cleaned for her. All that weekend, Carolyn was sleeping in bed, crying and crying. And the grandmother said to her, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, I just miss my home. I miss my people. I miss everything. And the grandmother said, don't worry. You're going to get used to you're going to get used to America. America is wonderful. You will make all the money that you need. You'll go to school. And then when you're finished here, you will have money to take back to the Dominican Republic, invest, help our family, and it will be so much better for you. And Carolyn was like, oh, I didn't know America was like this. And she's like what? And Carolyn was just quiet. She didn't know what to say or what to do. She just felt like she was the guilty one. So Monday came, and Carolyn went back to work. And this man, this time, took advantage of her. Not just her right here. He took advantage of her and made her do things with him that she did not want to do. You know what I mean? And then she just felt she felt so horrified. She was a woman that never been intimate with a man before that. So that night when she went home, she didn't know what she was going to do. And she said to her grandmother, you know, I have to tell you what's been going on. I have to tell you everything, abuela. And abuela was like, what, Carolyn? And she sat down and she told her grandmother. Well, her grandmother said to her, the next night, tomorrow night, you are not going to that job. I'm going to go work for you. And Carolyn said, oh no, but you work all day in the apartment building cleaning. I don't want you to go at night and work the night shift and work. The abuela said, don't worry about it. Abuela went. As soon as the elevator door opened, the guy was standing there and he said, where's Carolyn? And she said, I'm cleaning for Carolyn tonight. He said, well, you already took over a shift for her before. Why are you doing this again? She can't do this. It's not allowed. And the grandmother went up to him and said, who are you? Who do you think you are? And he said, I work here and I make sure I run things at nighttime. And I've been watching her and her cleaning skills are not all that. And the grandmother said, well, I'm going to clean for her tonight. And the grandmother cleaned for Carolyn. But before the grandmother left, she made sure that she also cleaned the guy's clock. So while the grandmother was cleaning, she decided to go down to another floor where she knows one of the men that work nights all the time, and he's one of the managers there. So she went down to that floor and she spoke to him. His name's Robert. And she said, Robert, who is this new man that you hired? The watchman. Robert said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about. There is no watchman. And she said, you know, the guy that's always up on the floor, like he's always watching over the girls, making sure the new girls are cleaning right. Robert said, we didn't hire anyone to do that. Like, we take it for your word that the girls are going to be able to clean. Like, we wouldn't hire someone to watch the girls clean. That just is not our protocol. You know that. And she was like, the guy looks like a little bit of an older man. middle-aged. He has a big beard and a big mustache. It's gray. And right here, the beard is kind of peppery color. And he's bald. And she starts explaining how he looks. Robert's like, we don't have anybody that works like that here. I don't know. He's like, I have no clue. And she's like, look on the security camera. So Robert, because he was always working late nights and everything, he would always watch on security cameras to see who was doing what, to see if anyone was entering the building when they shouldn't. And he was like, oh, he's like, that guy, he's like, he's security for downstairs. And he just does his rounds around the halls. He's not looking over the women to make sure that the women are working well. And Abuela was like, he's a security guard? When did you hire him? And he said, oh, he's new. We just hired him. But he's not to look over the women. He's to look over the front gates to make sure no one's coming in or out. Why? And Abuela said, oh, okay. It's all right. Nothing. Well, Abuela went nuts on him. She did the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. She met the guy downstairs. She said to him, she said, oh, she went back down to her floor and she didn't see him. So she went near the front gate and she saw him. And she said, oh, so you're the security guard here? And he's like, that and other things. Why? And she's like, okay. Now, he didn't know Abuela used to work there at all. And he's like, that and other things. Why? And she's like, okay. Can I get you to help me in the basement, please? I have some buckets I need to take down there. They're heavy, and the service elevator is not working to go down to the basement. And he's like, that's not my job. She's like, but I need you to help. Do you think you can do that? Just this one time. And he's like, whatever, I'm not helping you all the way down, but I'm going to help you just down a little bit, and then you can carry it the rest of the way. And she's like, thank you. So he went in front of her. He started to go down a few steps, and she took the broom, the back of the broom, where the handle is, not the broom soft part, but like the stick, and she went boom, hit him in his back, and he tumbled down the stairs. When he tumbled down the stairs, she took Javex, poured it out all on him, and she started to beat him because when she poured the Javex on him, it was all going into his eyes, his face. He couldn't breathe, and she just started to pummel him with that broomstick. Don't mess with a grandmother's granddaughter. Do not mess with a woman's grandchild. There were no cameras downstairs in that area where they were. Now there are some cameras in the hallways, what Robert watches, but none in the specific offices and none down there at the bottom of the stairs. Now when Abuela did that to him, she said to him in his ear, don't you ever touch my granddaughter or any other woman again. You are lucky that I don't have an apparatus to be able to castrate you right now. You know what I mean? She didn't have one of these to castrate him. She said, if I had one of those, I would cut it off right now and stuff it down your throat. And she was like, you stay right here. She closed the door and she locked it. There was no way anyone can get down there, and as he could scream as loud as he wanted to, there's no way anyone would hear him. It's soundproof down there near the basement, no videos, and he was found the next day. He was fit to be tied, but he survived, and he told them he didn't even know who did it to him. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Yes, that grandmother went and she got that man back. And Carolyn, she messaged me and she's like, you know what, Cerise? I watch your story times all the time. She's like, I've been in America now for a very long time. I'm very happy. I'm working a wonderful job. I'm saving a lot of money. And now I'm ready to go back to the Dominican Republic, and I'm ready to invest. And she's like, I have to thank my grandmother for everything she did. I was like, you do need to thank your grandmother for that. Not every grandmother will do that. But at the end of the day, not every man will do that. So if you are a man that does do that, you got to be careful, because there are some women out there that will cut it off, castrate you, and stuff it down your throat. Also, if you are a woman that has been taken advantage of, you're going to be fine. These things, they pass. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person, and it doesn't mean that you deserve it. All it means is that person is going to experience bad karma in their due time. And you're going to get all the blessings that you deserve. Guys, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you click the notification bell. That's going to let you know when I upload a video. Storytime Saturdays. And I want you to join me tomorrow for Sosua Sundays, and then Random Mondays, Real Estate and Relocation Tuesdays, Relationship Wednesdays, Talk Show Thursdays. Fridays is Fitness Fridays, and Storytime Saturdays, and then again, Sosua Sundays. Guys, I upload every single day of the week. I don't know where I find the time, but I do it all for you. So please stay tuned. And if you have any video ideas, just give me a shout. Let me know. Put your comments down below. I'm actually looking forward to what you guys think about this story time. Ooh, gory story. Take care, everyone. Mwah. Take care of yourself. Be good, and be good to others.
The number one DNA paternity test. You can have it delivered to you anywhere around the world. The DNA test is so easy to take. It's 100% accurate, and you can do it straight from home. Just $59. The test kit and the lab fees included for one father and one child. They will send you a DNA sample collection kit for easy at home use. Return the swabs in the pre addressed envelope, and your results will be available to you in about a week's time. Paternity is a sensitive issue. Let's face it, you really want highly trained staff of professionals ready to talk to you and supply guidance and reassurance on these sensitive and confidential matters. You can follow up online at any time using your unique access code to know the progress status of the DNA study. It will usually take about 3 days after your samples have arrived in the lab. Easy peasy, no more worrying and no more fretting. And it's so easy to order your kit on WhatsApp 647-513-5233. Simply say this code, DR Paternity, and start your process today.